Cooking with Carter Equipment Series, Season number 2. I'm DJ Carter, and this is my wife, Emily.
Hello.
Happy to have everybody with us today. What we're going to do, we're going to feature 2 pieces of equipment on this series. The first one that we're going to feature is actually what we call a small electric burner. Now, this thing is deceivingly small. When I say deceivingly small, the box that we got was this big. The actual burner that we got
Is this big?
And it does not tell you on the box what size the burner is. You always want to look at that. I got this for Christmas of 2015, so it's a Christmas present, so you go, yay, when you get it, and then you use it. Alright, so let's go over a couple things with the electric burner. When you first get it, there's going to be a coating on the burner itself, on the actual heating element, and you're going to need to plug it in and turn the power button all the way to high. Let me explain just a little bit about the power button. Where that is, Emily's actually going to turn that, and you can see it move. Okay. All right.
This is off, low, medium, and the red is high.
Okay. Now, medium-high is going to be in between medium and high. And what you do, when you turn the knob, if you can see the H and the M, you're right there. Okay. So we want to go ahead and turn the position back to off, so that when we turn it on, you actually will hear a click, and it's kind of hard to decipher if I'm not sure on camera if it picked it up or not. It probably did. So let's listen for that. Okay, there's the click that we're talking about. Now, when you plug it in, you're going to see that the little orange indicator light right down there is going to come on automatically. Okay, that just shows that there's power to the device until you turn it over to once that click happens is when the heat actually comes on. It heats up very, very quickly, so be very careful. It is hot. But as I was saying, when you first get the device and you go to turn it on, you're going to want to let this coating harden, because it's very soft at first, the coating that's on the heating element. You're going to let it be on high for approximately 4 to 5 minutes. I went ahead and went 5 and let it heat up all the way. You will see the entire heating element heat up except for here, and right on the end, right in there. Okay? So basically, it's gonna everything else, but it eventually will heat up completely if you let it harden long enough. But you don't want to let it harden too long. If there's a smell, don't worry. Items do that because it's their first use, and it'll tell you that in the instruction booklet. Blah blah blah. Read it, have fun with that, all that wonderful stuff. Reading, yay. Okay, so let's talk about the pan that we want to use with that. You can use a regular 8-inch frying pan, or you can use a regular saucepan. Now, what Max is going to bring out, this is actually considered to be a saucepan, okay? When you sit that on there, you're going to notice that it slides around. It really doesn't hold to the burner. So you got to use one hand to hold it, and the other hand to do what you do. Let's slide the burner over here so I can actually work with it a little bit. Okay, put the pan back on there for me. Alright. Now, as I was saying, I hold it here. I am left-handed, and when you have CP, this is difficult to train yourself to do, I'll be honest. I've never worked with a stove before because simply I can't get up to it. You take a look at my stove, and you can see that it's actually higher to have that to go. So we'll shoot over to the stove real quick. And if you see anything on there that's not supposed to be, sorry, we're not burning people today. Just that's on, Thursdays, but that's okay. But basically, I can actually get up to the stove okay, but you put a pot on there that you got a 6-inch height on, I can't see over the pot to get into. With a device like this, you set it down and it's here instead of way up here, and me having to go, I can almost get there, and see it.
And burn your face off.
Yeah, exactly. That's not something you want to do. So, all right, that right there is going to slide just like that. But you can make basically anything in this. You can, do eggs, any kind of sausage, anything you want to do. All right, so that's off there. We'll put the pan away. Now, Emily had asked a question earlier about
Grippage.
the grippage of the pan. If you use a regular pan that is either a cast iron or an 8-inch saucepan, it will have a metal backing on the back of it that has grip to it. When you run your fingers across it, you will feel that. I'm not going to get that out because my cabinet's all neat, and if we get one pan out, everything else is going to fall
It's
through.
kind of buried. It'd be like a metal pan avalanche.
Yeah, and we're not going to do that on the Cooking with Carter Equipment series, no sir. All right, so I want to talk about one other thing. When we go to clean this, okay, to actually clean it, this is actually a lot tougher than you think. All right, Max lifted it up, and that's actually all of the area that you're going to get. And my big ham hocks for fingers don't slide up in there to clean that. And you have even with petite hands, you're going to have some trouble. You want to use a very, very delicate washcloth, or you can use a bacterial wipe or any kind of. You want to avoid abrasive surfaces on that because it will scratch it up and also scratch the burner. If you get grease on there, I do want to mention we made an omelet on this. We did that off camera, thank God. We made an omelet in an omelet pan. We started the sausage. Everything was good. Sprayed it down. And what happened when we put the onion and green pepper and everything in the omelet to close it, we put the egg in. We went to dump the bad boy to turn it, and the grease dripped out and got underneath the heating element right in there. Okay, and there was a little bit of fire splashed up. Now, here's the thing: when that happens, don't panic. It's okay. If it was bad, I'll tell you what you can do. There's two items. There's something you can get at your local hardware store. Will sell it. Any food store, specialty food store should sell it. Your fire department will have it. It's called Grease Stop, and what it is Fire Stop. And what it is, usually they hang them up over your stoves when you're in an apartment for an emergency. You pull the string, and it loads basically like almost a cloud of dust onto the item that you're on or whatever you're using that has the fire, and it smothers it. To stop a grease fire, big no, don't use water. You want to either get a lid of any kind that you have that's a hard lid and just smother it right down. The quicker you smother that, the faster it's going to go out. A fire needs oxygen to breathe. You take away the oxygen, no fire. So that's the end of the small electric burner. When we come back, we'll have another piece of equipment, the induction burner. On Cooking with Carter, stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment. Hello and welcome back to Season 2 of the Cooking with Carter Equipment Series. We're now going to feature our second piece of equipment, which is the induction cooktop and the induction frying pan. Now I'm going to go very slow on this and take a few minutes to explain each, because a lot of these have a lot of different features that I'm fairly new to. Like I said, I don't use a stove. I'm unable to use it. This is one of the best inventions I've ever seen, and it does so much. This surface is the cooktop surface. Cooktop surface. That's a tough phrase of words to get out of there. Yeah. Now, if you can slide your hand across this, or if you ever get one, just take a minute before you do anything with it to slide your hand across it. It's very smooth. Okay. First thing I want to talk about with this, you do not. It says in the manual not to put the pan on there without any food in it. That actually can't happen, because for this to work, the pan has to be on it. Just like that. Okay? And you'll notice a ring on this top. You want to try your best not to get outside of the ring. It does get hot, okay, but it's not going to get hot all the way out here because of the type of machine that it is. On the cooktop, when you plug it in, you're going to see this little light right here will come up with 5 blue dashes. Okay, sit the pan on top of it, just like that. Okay. And once the pan is on it, you're going to hit the power button. It will flash a green light twice. As it does that, this is your function key right here. Let me move the handle out of the way. When that green light is flashing, you press the function key and you will see a light come up under either warm, simmer, boil, fry, grill, or sear, and depending on how many times you press the button. Okay, those are the different functions that you can do. Okay, once you have determined a function, you're going to hear a fan come on, and this pan will almost instantaneously start to sizzle. What that means is keep your hands out of the way of the cooktop. It's going to be hot. Okay? So, that is the really cool thing, and then you can add your food, do what you want to do. This is also a much safer and faster way of cooking, because one of the differences with induction is how it cooks the entire surface completely. Now, let me mention the bottom of the cook pan. It actually does have a sensor built into it for this cooktop. That's why you can only use induction type pans on a cooktop. Do not use a regular pan. If you do, you just wasted a whole lot of money.
And also, don't use the induction pan on an old burner.
Oh, yes, because you can mess up the sensor in there. And them induction pans start like $149, $150. That's a lot of money. I mean, you can get some cheap ones, you know, for $50 to $30, depending on where you get them at. Also, the weight of the pan. This doesn't really slide when it does, but it's lower and it has a better center of gravity as to where it's sitting. It has a better base. Okay, so you've got your food on and you're cooking it. One of the cool things about it, when you set your function, you have these little minus and these little plus buttons that you have that you can adjust your temperature while you're cooking. And that will allow you to bring it down, bring it up if you like the way things are going. Take the pan off, turn it off. You'll see the little lights come up. You can unplug it. Doesn't take long to start or stop at all. You had a question there?
Does the handle make any difference for you, or is it harder or easier to use because of the induction pan?
Well, this one, if you notice,
Because it's sleeker.
It's sleeker, yeah, but it's curved.
Okay.
See, on that regular saucepan we had earlier that we showed with the burner, that was straight. See how this fits the hand? Put your hand right up there. Now go to lift it. See, when you're lifting with this part of your arm. You don't have to bend your wrist up or down to lift it. When I wrist, this is my right hand, and I want you to look at this. See how my wrist is straight? That's the difference. The wrist stays straight. Okay, now I'm left-handed. Okay, so the contour. This is this right here is to help hold. You can use a finger to pick it up, put it down. Also, when you set it down like this. Don't slam it down on the cooktop because all the controls and stuff are in there. Okay, so once you've done all your food and everything and you take your pan off, very, very, very important. Don't get water on this. Don't do it. Grease and stuff like that. Let it cool.
As you can see, it's open back here because that's how it ventilates. So yeah, you don't really want to submerge this or get water in it at all because you will ruin it immediately.
And if you're not careful, you may electrocute yourself. Yes, I know that's not a word, but we're going to go with it. Sorry for the coffee pot going off in the background, but that's all right. Our 4 hours is up on the timer. But Alright, so that basically to clean it, you want to use a washcloth, cool water. Make sure it is wet but not dripping. As you can see, you can get fingerprints on this just by touching it. Okay,
Yeah.
it's gonna pick up things like that. It's pretty simple. This is one of the waves of the future, and I like the size compared to the other. So we want to take a minute to thank all of you for tuning in to Season 2 of the Cooking with Carter Equipment Series. Remember, don't forget to subscribe. You can hit the button right up there in between my lovely wife and I. So we'll see you next time on the Cooking with Carter Equipment Series. So long, everybody.